Hello, dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is news time again from this very good channel. Welcome back. How are you all doing? Hope you are good. I pray that God will be with you in your endeavors. Today we have another update for you, and I want you to, after listening to it, you drop your opinion and suggestions you have so that Biafra will be free. And that's just it. Okay, let's go there.
Court of Appeal in Nigeria prescribing IPOB. Remember that the High Court have done that in the past. But surprisingly, what bodies like you and European Union did not see IPOB as such. And not only that, a country like Israel, United States of America, Britain do not see IPOB as such. And like Fulani herdsmen, global terrorism desk have seen them as the fourth most dangerous terrorist organization in the world for a very long time. And the Nigerian government have not seen them from that angle. Are you worried about this prescription?
This prescription is not moving me. I'm not moved an inch. Why? Because I know that for how many years now, IPOB has been prescribed by European Union, United Nations, United States, Israel, and so on and so forth. Because they actually know the modus operandi of the IPOB.
The European Union did not prescribe them.
Yes, did not. So what I'm trying to say is that this is why they don't, is that they know the modus operandi of the IPOB. Why? Igbo men in Europe often come out en masse protesting over Nigeria marginalization of the Igbos and senseless or illegal incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. And each and every time they protest in London, Belgium, Switzerland, Austria, Germany, they put on their uniform with the, flag, Biafran flag. And their name, IPOB, is an inscription written boldly on the flag, on their shirts. I mean their t-shirts. So that's why the European Union, under the aegis of Transparency International, gave them that award, incentive as the most peaceful agitation group in the world. That's why prior to, I think, how many years ago when they were proscribed, the United Nations and EU said no, they are not. Because actually they know how they operate. Then again on social media, they would have at least watched the various time, protesting, doing their normal business of agitation in Aba and other commercial cities or communities in the southeastern Nigeria. That's why obviously they have understood IPOB not to be a terrorist organization. But what I'm trying to say now is the court that proscribed IPOB, that was yesterday, that breaking news, either yesterday or the day before yesterday. Where is the court situated? The situation, the location of the court does not, make that court legal enough, does not give that court the legality. I don't want to understand. The legal standing or backing to prescribe IPOB again. IPOB are people from the southeastern Nigeria, and if at all they commit any crime, they've not gone to Abuja, they've not gone to Sokoto or Kanu to commit, any crime. Whatever they commit that warranted that prescription, they actually committed it in the southeastern Nigeria. So if any court is competent, having competent jurisdiction to condemn any appeal court, IPOB, it will be Enugu. That is southeast court. It shouldn't be in Abuja. Abuja is almost north. So this is the handwork of the Fulani, hegemonies who are bent on making sure that, working hard to annihilate, to reduce, to marginalize, to exploit, to destroy the Igbo man. So what I'm trying to say is that the prescription doesn't worth it. It's laughable. Because actually a court has made it clear. International community has communities have actually accepted that IPOB is the best agitation group in the world.
Now, let me ask this question, Mr. Rafumichi. Because we understand that the other time, Igbos, Biafrans across the globe gathered in Finland, Lati, for the
Declaration of Biafra.
And IPOB members were there, and the world witnessed it under the watchful eye of international media, and nobody questioned or rather regarded them as terrorists. Do you think the world will agree with Nigeria?
No. Matthew, as I'm talking to you now, they are rejecting it. Israel is turning, is frowning at it. That kind of prescription, Biafra prescription. America is frowning at it. The entire EU member nations, they have actually frowned at this kind of senseless, ruthless, unjustified prescription or judgment. So I'm of the opinion that United Nations can never ever accept that ruling. Rather, they should warn Nigeria to make sure what they are doing presently about Igbo man does not escalate this nation into a pogrom that will be worse than that of 1967, 68, 69, and 70. They should be handling the issue of Biafra now with much sensitivity. Yes, because it's getting out of hand that a particular people that is not up to 10 million is at least trying to overrun or outsmart people that are more than 70 million in population. Because if it escalates, I don't think Fulani will have anywhere to run. If you prescribe Igbo man and say that IPOB is a terrorist organization, do you know that you are calling him Gozo Konjiwal? You are prescribing Gozo Konjiwal as a terror. The Director General of WTO.
Judging by the meaning of IPOB.
Yes, by the meaning of IPOB. Thank you. Judging by the meaning of that abbreviation, the indigenous of Biafra, Chimamanda Adichie, indigenous of Biafra, Obi, Peter Obi, indigenous of Biafra, myself, Raphael Mbechi, as my name implies, indigenous of Biafra. All of us that are Igbo are terrorists. It's just like as I'm talking and analyzing globally, day in, day out on social media, I'm a terrorist. That's what that kind of Fulani Maraudas church court, you know, ruled using one kind Apoloka chief judge. As far as I'm concerned, that chief judge is an Apoloka without certificate. Apoloka chief judge, without what it takes to be a chief judge, a presiding chief judge, justice. See, we should meet West African Bar Association, WAPSA, there's a name again. Then again, Nigerian Bar Association, they should do something about all these Tanko, Ango, all these chief justices that emerges from North.
Let me bring
they are not they are not competent enough.
Let me bring this angle to it, because under the presidency of Yar'Adua, when the military was bombarding Niger Delta, federal government of Nigeria saw militants, agitators of resource control as terrorists. But in world bodies like UN, European Union, countries like America, UK,
they said they are not.
Did not see them as terrorists. Yes. They saw them as freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters.
Are people who were asking for resource control.
Yes.
In the same vein, the world do not see IPOB the way
they see us as freedom fighters.
Why is Nigerian government always in what look like giving a dog a bad name in order to hang it? Why is Nigerian government always following this tragedy?
They are doing it in such a way that they are trying to invite the United Nations, that is other member nations of the UNO, to join them on that proscription and that name calling, so that if at all escalation, that's conflict escalates, they will have the, you know, the advantageous part of, they will take that as an advantage, allowing, you know, other member nations, you know, to join them to fight the so-called prescribed group. The prescribed group like Niger Delta militant, then they would like other member nations of UNO to join them to fight them. Likewise, presently, they have proscribed IPOB again in such a way that Nnamdi Kanu will find it difficult to be free, and the member nation of United Nations will join them to fight the Igbos. But it is too late. Because as I'm talking to you now, Israel is finding out this kind of proscription, America too, and Finland. So what they are doing, I don't know the reason why. I can't give you a reason. The only reason I will give you is that is because of animosities of the Fulanis over the Igbos, against the Igbo counterparts who have shut their door against Islamization in 18th century, and they still hate that same religion. They don't want to be Muslim. They can never pray the way Fulanis are praying, and the Igbos can never buy into Arabic Fulani ideology. It is not what Igbo man ever requested for.
Okay, let me ask this question. It's going to come in two forms. One, why is this coming at the time Afenifere is pushing for Nnamdi Kanu release? And secondly, this issue of proscription, is it targeted to frustrate Nnamdi Kanu's release?
That's what I said. To frustrate his release. Two, Afenifere's push to release Nnamdi Kanu. That's why Fulani all of a sudden ran to the High Court, Appeal Court, and prescribed Nnamdi Kanu-led group again. And let me tell you, it doesn't matter. Nigerian court has no strength anymore. We've seen how Kanu was released in the past. Yes. He was released in the past. Still, Nigerian court ruled against federal government. But the office of the presidency could not allow the DSS to let go. So what I'm saying is, Governmental has tried their best. Likewise, other cultural group like Ohanezes, Pandef, not Pandef, Mid-Belt group, then Hausa, United States of Hausas. They actually been putting pressure to see that Nnamdi Kanu is out.
Okay, lastly,
it is only Arewa. Arewa is a platform that is unifying the whole Fulanis in this contraction. You understand, as one body. So that's why you find out that it's only Fulani that are working hard to make sure that IPOB leader is not out. IPOB as a platform proscribed as a terror group.
Okay, let me bring this angle lastly, because somebody on Twitter is saying that Gowon, who actually created River State, that his intention was to give people of that axis a different identity as a way of polarizing and depleting the population of Igbos, by extension Biafra. By extension, someone like Sani Abacha created South-South. And people have argued that all this creation, all this creation have ended up in
harming the
Igbos. Are you of that view?
I'm of the view that creation of River State, previously a region that was under East Central region, creation of Akwa Ibom, a region that was under Southeastern region before. It's just, they did it. South of 18, they did it. Bayelsa, they did it just to injure the Igbos. They want to puncture the population and popularity of the Igbos. Because once they were created, they used other political agenda on them, political solution on them. They sell many stories into their mental ability, into their political let me say classes, so that they will use that as an excuse. They will use that as a platform to distance themselves from the Igbos, and that will again make the Igbos infamous politically, because there are amount of people you need to have before gaining more states. Before
that numerical strength.
Thank you, numerical strength. That numerical strength, you should have it. So they are the one that is oppressing the Igbos, using these divisions, seeding away Igbo regions, give it another name, brainwash the occupants. It is finished.
Because the argument is that a place like Ebema, Ikwere, Eche, and the rest, before now, would not see them as themselves as not being Igbo.
Yes.
Remember that even recently, the new or the current the President General have faced serious criticism and even stripping him of his political, chieftaincy titles as a result of the emergence of the General President.
Yeah.
And people are saying, how do we come over this?
Within a short period of time, I think by emancipation, that's of Biafra, sovereignty, all this issue, will be addressed. That is how it's going to be addressed. Because if failure to come, I mean Biafra, it will be lingering. But immediately Biafra comes, the United Nations organization, they will come here. Our international boundary must be drawn or cheered between us. I mean between us, Biafra and Nigeria, by international bodies that are, designated to do that. So without that, it will be lingering. It will be lingering. Very soon, you will actually find out that Idoma man is going to head Ohaneze. It's coming to their turn. Very soon, Niger Delta man. Very soon, Egala. So
I was even going to the angle of South-South, because currently I have a situation where in Delta State, Delta North Senatorial District is the biggest in Delta State, with 9 local governments as against 8 and 7. Yes, Anyama. And of course, we have seen so many people in that region who will say are not Igbo, but a good number of them will tell you that I'm Igbo. Like I'm from Abo, I know Abo is Igbo.
Yeah.
Asaba will tell you that Igbo.
Yeah.
And for some few places where you have some few distant voices who may say we are not Igbo, how do you think they can be reorientated?
They can be orientated when Biafra comes. You can't just go now fighting over Biafra with those let me say our brothers. Actually, they are still recuperating from brainwash as an injury, inflicted on them by the Fulani hegemony. Fulani use brainwash, you know, actually change their orientation, their way of Igbo orientation, change them, came in with many various nasty stories about the Igbos. They impose all this ugly, you know, let me say, brainwash on these Niger Deltans. And they use it so that Igbo man will have no claim on them, that they are part of the Igbos. But we actually know that good numbers of them, especially this Delta North, Anioma you are talking about. Anioma is 100% Igbo language, and all of them there are Igbo. Then when you talk about how Abo and the rest of them, what's the name of these people, or Romili, is it Romili? If you talk about Ibanke and the rest of them, these are people that if Abakaleke people speak language today, Ebonyi State, they will understand it, but Anambra man will not understand it. Yes.
Is it Kwale?
Kwale. I don't know what understand. They hear Ebonyi people. Ebonyi people speak difficult Igbo. I myself am from Anambra, we don't. But this one in Niger Delta, they understood. They understand the language. So what I'm trying to say is that it can't work anymore. You have good number of Deltas that are Igbos. So the major issue now is if the minorities claim they are not, they are. But if the majorities in Niger Delta, Delta State claim they are Igbo, they are Igbo.